What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Outdoors and Horsepower 101. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. I got a buddy whose mom owns a local cafe here in the area that I live at, and she's been extremely overwhelmed. She also runs a catering business. She asked if I could come help, run the restaurant with her while she did some of the catering stuff. And I could use the money in the meantime anyway, so I said, of course. So I've been extremely busy helping her out at that cafe. Gotta do what you gotta do to make ends meet sometimes, So unfortunately, I haven't been able to film as much. I made a lot of promises about shooting pumpkins every day, but at the end of the day, I needed to do a little bit of work, make some money. And YouTube's not the place I'm making money right now. I'd love for it to be, maybe one day, but not right now. So in this video, I actually did go fishing a few days ago with my buddy Brennan from Lexington. We met up at the dam area of Lake Greenwood. I didn't really get to do a lot of filming, but I was able to film the spot and kind of sort of what kind of fish are biting right now. So I do have some footage of that fishing trip. It's a great public spot in the upstate of South Carolina. If you're somebody who doesn't have a boat or a kayak or something like that, and you need that land-based fishing possibilities for catching fish, for catch and release, or for dinner. So I do have some footage of that fishing trip I'm going to show you guys. Hope you guys enjoy that. You get to see Brennan for the first time. He's one of my best friends from college, one of my fraternity brothers. Ready to show you guys that. It'll be my first fishing footage that I promised you guys. A lot more to come. I need to buy like a chest mount or a head mount. I just don't have that for fishing right now. That's soon. I've got some trips planned to that same area of Lake Greenwood because we actually caught some fish, and as soon as we got there, we started catching fish. Didn't have to sit there and wait. So the fish are biting, and if they're biting, I'm going to keep fishing. I'm going to keep going until they stop biting or until I have to take my kayak out and find them in deeper water, which will be in the next month or so. But I am shooting a pumpkin today, which is why I'm sitting here right now. This will be the last pumpkin video. Any other firearms we do will just be, at targets or explaining the firearm or sighting in certain cool guns. My brother and I are always getting our hands on new firearms. We can't help ourselves. We just can't help it. We love guns, and they always coming out with something new. But this is the last pumpkin video. I'm sticking with the hunting kind of side of firearms. So today, we're going to be shooting a handgun, a very popular cartridge for deer hunting, and that's the 44 Magnum. This specific 44 Magnum will be the Taurus Raging Hunter. Taurus was one of those that was known for lower quality when it first came out, making budget-friendly firearms. Then they evolved and they've created the Judge, which became one of the more popular self-defense weapons, especially in the outdoors, because you're able to shoot 45 long Colt, 410 shotgun shells and stuff out of the same firearm. That's kind of what took Taurus, made them take off a little bit. And once they started producing these Raging Hunters, these have actually become very popular. They're a very well-made firearm. They're made in Brazil. Like I said, this particular one is the 44 Magnum Raging Hunter. I'll get a little bit closer, give you a close-up. Got the port there for gas release to help with recoil, because that 44 Magnum does have quite the wallop to it. This particular one is mounted with a Burris optic. It's a fixed 2-power 20 millimeter scope. Very, very good 75-yard and under handgun if you're inexperienced. These guns can make shots out past 100 yards, but that's for your more experienced handgun hunters. But I love this gun. As you can tell, it looks cool. It's just a great looking firearm. It's got the matte black on the barrel, got the stainless around the receiver. The Burris scope looks great on it. Very balanced. Not that heavy, not that light, but overall I think this is a great handgun. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I know what y'all are here for. Y'all just want to see it go bang. So let's go shoot a pumpkin. whenever I did my channel intro, I promised you guys we were going to do some fishing videos. That is probably my top favorite passion in the world. I love hunting. I love riding four-wheelers, but fishing's got to be my favorite. I've been working a lot. Picked up a job at a local cafe that my buddy's mom owns. You know, gotta get those bills paid. So I haven't been able to upload as much lately, and I do apologize for that. But I finally got to meet back up with my buddy, old Brennan.
Yeah, go fishing.
He was one of my best friends of all time. He was one of my fraternity brothers from college. He's a paramedic, amazing guy, amazing fisherman. So we were wanting to do some trout fishing, but where I live, there's just a long drive to really get to some of the streams. So we decided to go to the Lake Greenwood Dam. Lake Greenwood is in the upstate of South Carolina. We're not actually fishing Lake Greenwood. Where the dam flows out, that actually starts, is that the middle Saluda? It starts the middle Saluda, and that Saluda is what feeds all the way down into the Saluda that feeds into Lake Murray. So we'll be fishing at the dam. We're going to be targeting striper, catfish, largemouth. A lot of bait gets washed out of that dam whenever it goes through there. It's got some pretty quick moving water, so those striper and catfish stage up and just hammer the bait when it comes out. So fingers crossed we're able to get on a few keeper size striper. Wouldn't mind some catfish or whatever else bites along the way. So we'll pick up in a few minutes when we get to the dam, and I'll show you the setups we're using, and hopefully we wear them out today. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all in a little bit. So I gotta admit, I was too excited to get up here and start fishing, so I haven't done any filming yet. But here's a little just quick overview of what we're working with. So there's the dam I was telling you about. As you can tell, that's the top of that dam's Lake Greenwood. This feeds in, starts the Saluda River, and it just kind of runs down through here. And there's a few eddy pockets right here outside of that fast moving water. And what I'm throwing, I'll give you a little rundown real quick of the rig I'm using. This is an old salty from Favorite Fishing. Blue Gabe and Deer Meat for Dinner got me on these rods. This is actually Brennan's rod. He's throwing a bummy stick, which is Bama Beach Bum rod. He's throwing a massive swim bait halfway from here to California. But we've been fishing about 5 minutes. Just using a little split shot, a small Aberdeen hook. You got to be careful walking down these rocks. Excuse me, Brandon. Oh. And about 5 minutes worth of fishing so far. We got a pretty good stringer going. I'm gonna try, I don't have a chesty or a head mount. I'm gonna try and get some footage of Brennan so I can get you some footage of some fish actually being caught on camera. So we're gonna get Brennan rigged up with my setup, and I'm gonna film him, and I'm gonna show you how quick he casts it and catch one. This is fun, man. There you go. Got it.
There it is. That's a good one.
Yeah. Eat it, boy. Show him up on camera.
That's
like
what
that,
you call
boys.
fishing, boys.
Another one to the stringer. Feels good, don't it?
Feel good. Filet.
Show him over. I'm really surprised we're not catching any white perch right here. It's a really good spot for white perch. The white perch do the same thing as the striper. They just kind of sit here and stage up on the bait. Hold on, get the bite. There we go. Like that, folks. I'll have to teach Brennan how to do that. Beautiful, beautiful morning out here, guys. Kovu clearly working hard. Brennan out there trying to get us a striper. I got a catfish rod out with a piece of cut bluegill from one of the ones we caught last night. Trying to catch one that first 80 coming out there off the dam. A lot of big catfish and striper hang out right here. Fingers crossed, but it is beautiful, guys. Blessed to be out here. God has created a beautiful, beautiful world for us to live in, guys. So let's talk ammunition first. This is a 240 grain Winchester jacketed soft point. Soft point means it's going to have a lead tip. Lead is extremely soft, so it mushrooms very quickly, very well, meaning a very hard release. It's got a little bit of a copper jacket around it, but it's a copper jacketed lead core, meaning it's got just a little bit of copper around the outside to help control that mushroom so it doesn't just smush into a pancake. Because like I said, lead is very soft. That's what a soft tip means. 240 grain, about 1,200 feet a second at the muzzle. These are going to release very hard. There's a chance of not having an exit, but it's just going to hit that target and going to smack the mess out of it. So like I said, a 240 grain bullet at 1,200 feet per second. Let's see if we can't hit the pumpkin. I'm gonna have to walk down and turn the GoPro on first and then come back because my remote's dead. So let me go turn the GoPro on by the pumpkin and I'll come right back and we'll shoot that pumpkin. Alrighty, she's recording. I'm gonna shoot it on single action for the ease of the trigger pull. Let's see what she's got. Got a pretty long trigger pull on it, but we got it, baby. Alrighty, guys. Let's see here. So, I would have honestly thought that entrance hole might have been a little bit bigger. A lot of times these big barrel bullets just go in and punch a big hole and just punch right back out. I thought it would release harder than that. It looked like it punched in. And it kind of just blowed right back out on the other side. It didn't look like it had much release, which actually really surprises me. Usually those soft points mushroom and release very hard on impact. Almost looks like it had pretty good weight retention on the pass through all the way through the pumpkin, which, like I said, surprises me. Well, AG-44 Magnum, man, very popular handgun cartridge for deer. 100% will take any animal in North America out at the proper range, in my opinion. Grizzly bear, hell, I'm sure it'd take out a moose if you needed it to. But there it is, guys. That's the last pumpkin video of the year. It is November now. Leaves have already started to change and kind of sort of start dropping off the trees. Temperatures are falling. My next goal in these videos is to try and get a whitetail hunt harvest filmed, the whole process for you guys. I'm gonna be going back to that Buzzards Roost area at the Lake Greenwood Dam. Like I said, I need to buy a chest mount or a head mount to get better footage for that. If you do want to go fishing at that Lake Greenwood spot, like I said, it's called the Buzzards Roost. I think it's a state park, or not a state park, but it's an SCDNR operated park. So there's no overnight parking or anything like that. You have to go in, fish all day and leave. But it's a great, great public spot if you don't have a kayak or a boat to go out on the water with. Where it feeds out of the dam from Lake Greenwood is actually where it begins the upper part of the Middle Saluda River. And that actually flows all the way into Lake Murray. So you can follow that river all the way down to the Saluda, which feeds into Lake Murray if you wanted to. Make a whole trip from going from Greenwood to Murray, which I wouldn't recommend doing, but you could do it. So next time I see you guys, I'll either be fishing or hunting. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching my videos. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. Hopefully I can start doing one a week again. That is the goal. Looking at maybe doing some coastal trips, catching some saltwater fish before it gets too cold. They've been wearing out, the redfish and the flounder, man. And I've been so sad I haven't been able to go down there and film some content doing that. So I'm going to try and do that for you guys. But with no further ado, man, thank you so much for watching. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great night, guys.